This is the Flux 1-month overview reading for the month of March 2023. It's currently February 15th, 2023, 8:32 p.m. Eastern Time. Flux coin at the time of this reading is currently 80.8623, or just over 86 cents. And the shuffle file, which we're about to watch, is created on January 21st, 2023, 10:51 p.m. Eastern Time. The overall theme and behavior for the month, there's a significant move out of oversold territory or to fill a previous gap down, probably out of oversold territory. There's a significant move to the upside to reach for a prominent high. It'll be a prominent high standing out. It'll be significant on more than a 1-month chart. That move out of oversold territory is crossed, however, with a rally that offers an opportunity to open up a short position. So there's quite a lot of movement likely to go on here because most of these cards are pretty big cards. The Ace of Wands indicates in the near future there should be a bit of a decline, but at the same time the adjustment card indicates that there was a decline and there's a big move out of it. So there's some back and forth going on here. Behavior around the highest high, we have a notable decline that'll stand out on a 1-month chart at least. It'll increase with momentum as we move forward in time. And then behavior around the lowest low, and that's out of the high. And the behavior around the lowest low, we have sideways fluidity, equal amounts of bulls and bears, inflow and outflow. So when you see this in a low position, the change card, there's a couple things that it can mean. Often it's that you see price swings, right? And in those price swings, you'd see probably two lows. Or it could just mean at the low, there's sideways, excuse me, there's sideways behavior along a key support. Sometimes it's narrow, sometimes it's price swings, so we'll have to look into it closer. But my sense is that there's probably two lows, or we come close to a third low, but there's probably two lows here. So what it looks like to me on a chart, we probably go from rally out of a low around the 4th, 5th into a high around the 9th, decline off of that back to lows somewhere between the 19th and the 21st. I'm leaning towards the 21st, but somewhere in there between the 19th and the 21st. And then we have this notable move back to highs, very likely here. I mean, it's overall bullish for the month, but you want to be careful because those big bullish moves that take us into they take us to opportunities to open up a short position. If you could do that, you can't do that probably with Flux because it's like only 86 cents or whatever we said it was. What do we say? It's only 86 cents, right? So if you could short it, I'd be surprised. But point is that there's opportunities there where you'd want to get out of the positions, like if you're playing short-term swings. The sneak preview of the following month as well also, it speaks of volatility that ends with a fast sudden move to the upside. Okay, on the first we have a U-shaped dip. There's also in the midst of that a correlation to a rally that offers an opportunity to exit a position, right? That U-shaped dip takes us, the second peak of that U-shaped dip takes us into a decline on the second. That decline ends with a fast sudden move higher, taking us to a prominent crest at the end of the day on the second, most likely. There's sideways rotation on the third along key support. There's also a day trade opportunity in there, which I'll get into in the paid version. And then on the fourth, we have a opportunity to open up. On the fourth, we have a period of sideways movement along, bumping up against resistance, possibly breaking through resistance, but it's really bumping up against resistance is the majority of the behavior. And then there's a good chance that we have a lowest low in here because first off, this is very bullish for the time frame, not for maybe the near future, but very bullish for the most part. So we would see a low early in the month in most cases, and then the double X in this position often indicates a lowest low. So I'm going to say that there's likely a lowest low in here on the 4th or the 5th. There's high probability of it. On the 5th, we do sideways rotation. Matter of fact, you see that? Sideways rotation along key support around the low, sideways rotation along key support around the low. That's even more indication of it. In any case, we do sideways rotation, increasing with, ending with a fast sudden move to the upside there on the 5th. And then on the 6th, we have a notable move to the upside, a trade opportunity as well. On the 7th, I'm advised to be cautious. Multiple false tops. There's a moment where there's a notable decline towards the end of the day. There's a notable decline towards the end of the day, and looks like we likely open higher on the 8th, but that rally is halted by a sharp decline through key support on the scale of a 1 month, taking us into the 9th, where we have a high probability of a high here. I think the greatest probability of the high is there on the 25th, but we have a high probability of a high here, of a highest high here on the 9th. And then a prominent trough as well. One of the more important trade opportunities here. There's a day trade opportunity on the 9th, which I'll get into in the paid version. There's also a significant swing trade opportunity here on the 9th, 10th. Guys, if you're interested in the paid version, the way that you do that, you go to our website, tarotfortraders.com, hit on Eso-Meta forecast under services. All right, click on here for your free for your forecast. And then put in the ticker that you're interested in, or the crypto, or the commodity, whatever it is. Put that one ticker symbol in, and then you subscribe monthly. It's $111. It's well undervalued, guys. Eventually, this is going up to probably $250 a month. It's a little matter of time. So this is the last time that this price will be at $111, to be clear. Once we change the price, it's never going to be that low again. But with that said, we're running roughly a 98% average accuracy. We're not right all the time, guys. So it's important to trade knowing that. You trade like I'm not right all the time, because it could be very tempting not to trade like I'm not right all the time. Like it can be very tempting to trade like I'm right all the time. But guys, when you start trading like that, you will make stupid decisions. You will lose money. I promise you this. You must trade responsibly. In any case, the paid version has all of the best trades that we see for the month. It also, when you pay for the paid version, you get that usually about a week ahead of where the public version will come out. Public version obviously doesn't have the best trades. So let's get back into it. On the 10th, we have... Interesting. So there's a point here on the 9th where we have a correlation to a big move out of oversold territory. So this is probably a really significant move on the 8th to the downside. We have a big move out of oversold territory there on the 9th, as indicated by the orange correlator. Sideways fluctuations to the downside preceded by a big move up. And then on the 10th, we have sideways fluctuations to the upside preceding a decline. It looks like the rally ends on the 11th. Probably opens lower on the 10th, rallies into the 11th. That rally ends with a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through the diagonal trend line that we were rallying along, taking us to a prominent trough there on the 12th. An important price level is highlighted here, important resistance level highlighted here on the 12th as well. And often when you see the Ace of Swords, there's a significant amount of price change there, allowing for one to put on a position in both directions. With like if it was a stock, anyways, it would be like like a straddle or strangle. So it's kind of like a good mean point area to hold in your mind as kind of like a mean point area when you see the resistance here on the 12th. And then we have 3 pokes through the same price level, followed by a sharp decline, taking us to a prominent trough here on the 13th. Also a significant trade opportunity in there. And another trade opportunity again on the 14th that we'll talk about in the paid version. There's a significant move. We successfully turned resistance into new support. There on the 14th, that's on the scale of a 1 month, and then we move. There's a notable move to the upside, almost irrational move, reaching for distant resistance there on the 15th. On the 16th, we have selling from an overbought crest or peak, followed by a prominent trough, or matter of fact, it looks like this is a prominent crest here on the 10th. Most likely on the 10th, most likely on the 16th, possibly on the 17th. But there's a prominent crest here, and then we decline pretty notably into a prominent trough. A lot of price action here on the 18th as well. After there's a key resistance again highlighted here on the 18th that we move into significantly, or we move out of significantly. But there's a lot of price change. And then on the 19th, we have another probable location of a lowest low. There's sideways S formation within a channel, so we decline from resistance to support, back to resistance, back to support. Bearish price swings on the 20th with a sharp drop, with a declining into the 21st. The decline into the 21st marks a notable opportunity to open up a long position. And the 21st is most likely where the lowest low is. That's my strongest sense of the lowest low. So we make like a high, and then we drop again, and then we make a high again, right? So on the 22nd, there's also a prominent crest that forms. So a lot of price movement out of that low there. There's a prominent crest that forms after making a lowest low. We make a new local high. And then resistance here on the 22nd, strong resistance that we met many times before. We rally into a key resistance level on the 23rd. There's also somebody speaking. It'll be important regarding either crypto or regarding FLUX specifically, but it'll be a trustworthy speech, whatever the information is. But we rally into key resistance on the 23rd, and then we decline with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down, taking us into, we probably gap up on the 24th. Because we have notable decline through multiple support levels there. And then there's a location of a highest high. This is a high probable location of a highest high as well. Probably the strongest probable location of a highest high based on all the other information gathered. And it'll be at a key technical price level. The rally will kind of like peter out at that level, and then there'll be a brief peak that's easily missed, followed by a sharp decline through multiple support levels on the 26th. A prominent trough on the 26th, followed by a notable move to the upside. Prominent trough on the 27th, followed by a notable move to the upside with a breakout in it, standing out on the 1 month. A prominent move higher on the 28th, taking us to a crest or peak, followed by like a full retracement of that move back down to where the move higher started, that price level. And then we have probably one of the biggest moves of the month to the upside here on the 29th. And we successfully pushed the upper end of a range higher, so we might actually have another high there. It's possible. It looks like we have another highest high there on the 28th. There's a high probable place for a highest high, matter of factly. On the 30th, we do 3 crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level, confirming a bullish trend. That bullish trend doesn't seem to hold over following down on the 31st. We decline from support down to a second support, bouncing on that support sideways for a bit throughout the day, and then we break down through multiple supports. And guys, that's Flux for March 2023. Please, my friends, the most important thing about this whole channel, the whole purpose of this channel's existence, is to spread goodwill into the world. We're putting out a ton of free content, a ton of valuable free content. I could keep this to myself. What would be the fun in that? But what I need from you guys is make sure you're following the rule of karma. I specifically do not trade so that I stay biased, or I stay unbiased, excuse me. And then with that said, you know, we need to make sure that we're paying it forward. So the best ways to do this, guys, to follow the rule of karma, if you don't know what I'm talking about by the rule of karma for the channel, you must watch this video. It's so important. If you plan to profit from this information and not disappoint yourself repeatedly, you must watch and follow the rule of karma, my friends. Like, if you think that I have enough wisdom to come up with a way to predict the stock market by the day or by the hour, but I don't have enough wisdom to come up with a way to protect this information from being used by the wrong people, you've got another thing coming, my friends. And there's a ton of angel investors out there that are following this rule of karma. The way that you do it is you go to our resources tab, hit on PayPal or Cash App, and you pay your 5% of the profits forward there. My friends, I was a Wall Street broker once. As a Wall Street broker, we used to charge 3.5% of the total investment to enter the trade, and probably 2 to 3% of the total investment to exit the trade. Didn't matter if you made money or lost money, we made money no matter what. That's a stockbroker. This is based solely on you making profits, so make sure you do that. And you must do it every time, my friends. Doesn't matter if it's $1, doesn't matter if it's $100,000. What matters is that you're following it. The mentality of the mind is one of abundance, and that's what manifests. So make sure you spend that profits out of money or out of love, and the universe will send it back to you tenfold in all directions, my friends. I will see you on the next one. Take care.